So I mean, when we designed this new gameplay, it meant there's a whole new markup that came with it, right? And I think, you know, Neversoft have done an amazing job over the years of having their rule set for how Guitar Hero worked, and we actually worked with them and did some DLC on Guitar Hero Evolved, and so it was a great rule set. So for us, it was a really good thing to get into, to understand, you know, where the methodology came from. But then when you change the gameplay completely, then you change the way it works completely. And at the end of the day, this is a game, so we're not trying to make a guitar simulator. This is still supposed to be fun. It's supposed to make you feel like you're playing guitar. So you've got the buttons on the top row and the bottom row, and all of a sudden we started to think about what are the type of shapes and what should they mean. So, you know, building a new set of rules was really interesting, and a lot of it was trial and error. You know, a lot of it was driven by people in the office that are really good guitarists, and then probably balanced off against people like me who don't, or I'm learning to play guitar but I'm not a guitarist, trying to force the gameplay issue in. So there was a kind of big meeting of minds to then build our new rule set. So so for all the bands, you know, we kind of went super deep in how we came up with them, and it was all about building these backstories, because I think what we wanted to do is try and tell a story without necessarily explicitly saying we're telling a story, but it also helped us develop things. You know, I think if you've got a great foundation of who your main characters in your story are, then your story starts to tell itself a little bit, and whether that's our game or you're writing a story, I think that foundation is important. We had so much fun coming up with these things, and I'd love to sort of let everyone in on that, all of the details, right? I mean, some we may have took too far and we should never repeat, but you know, there's going to be stuff, there's going to be unlocks in the game in live where you're actually going to get to see some of this stuff, and you're going to see a bit of the info, and you might see some of the concept work we did, and I think there's going to be, you know, if people really love it, then we'll definitely do it. Like, if the fans come back and they want to know all of this stuff, we'll definitely do it. We've built all the merchandise out as well, so, you know, we're hoping to be able to kind of put all the band t-shirts out there, so you can go and buy your favorite band t-shirt, and you know, it's one of my favorites already. So one of the ideas of JHTV was it had to be about you. Like, we didn't want this to just be this sort of faceless device that just forced music on you. It had to learn about you as a player and learn about what you like, and there's so many different ways you can do that with analytics. You know, we could simply look at the genre type that you like, you know, and see that you as a player like hard rock, and we can tell that because 90% of the tracks that you're playing to completion are hard rock tracks. And we might even see that, you know, you've come onto the channel and you've started playing this channel, and then a pop show comes on and you immediately turn over. So we know you don't like that. So you can learn by learning what people don't do as much as what they do. You know, and I don't want to, if you're the hard rock guy, I don't want to be pushing pop towards you, because I know that that's not what you're interested in. So there's lots of different ways you can kind of see things, but you can also then see, you know, what if someone plays a song and they absolutely ace it? Or what if someone plays a song and they repeat play that song? That could then tell you more specifics. It could tell you they like this artist versus this genre. So there's lots of different ways you can kind of, even just scratching the surface of some really soft analytics, you can start to build a picture of what people like. And if you really want to, you can really dig down into what people are doing, whether it's completion, whether it's competition, whether it's time of day, and things like that. So we've got loads of ideas about what we want to do with JHTV. I mean, I'm sure you can imagine when we developers make games, we have these grand visions of what we want to do, and then time and money slowly eat away at all of those things. And you know, the game we often release is maybe not the vision we started with. But the great thing about TV is the way we've built it is we can add not just content, but game modes and features without you necessarily having to do a download or a feature update. It can just be there. You know, one of the big things that's important to us about JHTV is we want to listen to the community, and not only can we listen to them sort of verbally, but we can actually cross-check that with what they're actually doing. So I would say, you know, we're open to adding all manner of things, and I think having some sort of soundboard for people to communicate, and you know, that's why we've built out our community manager, and with Stevie coming on board, so that she's there to talk to you and she can hear the fans and she can then respond. You know, making live, we learned a lot about movies, and here's the thing about a movie: if you've got the right creative vision, you can kind of fake anything. Like learning about green screen was incredible. The one thing that we had to avoid, and this is the only thing, this was the only barrier we had, was the robot, the bolt was on a huge track. So you had this big train track. So we had to make sure that that wasn't in shot as much as possible. Everything else we didn't mind if it was in shot, because if there was green screen there, we knew we were going to fill the green screen. If it was looking at the side of the stage, we knew that was what it was supposed to look like, because we dressed it and we had, you know, we had all the roadies and everything there. So everyone that was there was cast. There was the odd occasion where Paul McCann kept getting in the way of the camera when it turned around, and we were like, but that was the only rule. We were like, we just need to make sure we don't get the track in shot. And I think there was like 2 cases where there was a bit of track and we just painted it out. But everything else we knew we could fake, because that's how we designed it.